Yep.
Excited?
Yeah,
More or less?
something like that.
Something like that? Okay, cool. Well, how you been? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I can't complain. I can't complain at all. So, for those who don't know you, can you just tell us about yourself and what you do? Any professions that you have or any career goals that you're pursuing right now?
Yep. My name is Alana. I'm a professional makeup artist. That's my main thing that I do. I started that business 4 years ago. I also do graphic and web design. I handle branding and marketing for different companies. I can also sing and play four instruments.
4 instruments. Which
Four
ones?
instruments: piano, guitar, trumpet, and a little bit of violin.
Violin. I never
Hmm.
was a fan of violin. Well, not the sound. I love the sound, but actually playing it, it was kind of just a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, it was hard. I did
Yeah.
that for about 1 or 2 years in middle school orchestra.
Yeah, that's same here. I did
Yep.
orchestra a little bit, and then I started flunking out of that. So they're like, all right, we'll put you in band, and then they gave me like a French horn. I'm like, this isn't any better.
No,
So
the trumpet was the worst thing I think I ever tried to learn how to play.
yeah,
Not my thing.
you did that through band, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay,
Middle
gotcha.
school also.
Jeez, fun stuff. So in regards to makeup, how well you said 4 years. What kind of got you into doing makeup?
Well, I have the kind of mother that basically will not go check the mail without her makeup on. So I always grew up and I watched my mom since I was a little girl do her full face of makeup. I used to steal her Estee Lauder lipsticks and draw all over myself.
Jeez.
So by the time I got into, I think it was eighth grade, my mom came to me and she was like, look, you can start with your eye makeup. You don't need to put anything else on your face right now. And I was an overachiever. So I went and learned how to do the most difficult kind of eyeliner and like wore that every day. Got into high school. I always had friends ask me, oh, can you do my eye makeup for homecoming? I dabbled a little bit in the makeup crew for the drama department at Woodside, which got me into doing it on other people. Tried Sephora, tried the makeup counter route when I graduated high school. I just am not a salesperson. I didn't enjoy the fact of meeting sales quotas and things like that every single week.
Right.
So that's what prompted me to just go a different direction and just start my own thing. I didn't have to really answer to anybody.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely good going to business for yourself because you don't have to, like you said, answer to anybody. You make your own deadlines. You
Right, own your own
choose who you
hours,
work with, all that.
everything.
Right. Okay. Awesome. So, in doing makeup, what are some things that you, I guess, have learned as far as being your own business person? Because obviously there's trials and tribulations with anything that you do, especially
Right.
business.
Right.
So, what are some lessons that you learned from that?
Well, I've learned how to properly do taxes, business taxes. That's
That's a pain
first
in
and
the ass.
foremost because it is a very much so a pain in the booty.
Yeah.
Learn patience. You basically have to learn how to de-escalate situations in between you and customers or clients, whatever you like to call, whoever you're appealing to. But yeah, definitely the customer service aspect. I did learn, how to de-escalate situations, how to de-escalate people in general, because you will deal with some really irate people and disrespectful people in the career, and you just have to learn how to, I guess, not blow up and react the way that you want to, but
Right.
just stay professional at all times. Definitely learned a lot about social media and like the big part that social media plays in business nowadays. I feel like 80% of business advertisement is through social media. So
Absolutely.
other than word of mouth, that's the other 20%. But
No, you're good.
okay,
Yeah, just a little bit closer.
got you. But
Okay, cool.
yep, that's just little things like that that'll you just have to learn people and how to treat people and how to deal with certain situations.
Do you feel like the customer's always right?
No, but I won't say that to them.
Right. No, absolutely. I personally never subscribed to that. I was like, nah, these
No, I'm sorry.
don't know what they're
People
talking about.
be tripping. Mm-mm.
No, absolutely, because there's a lot of people that are entitled, and then if they don't get their way, they throw a fit about it. And
Yep, like toddlers.
yeah, like toddlers, exactly. And you have to deal with that, and like you said, de-escalate the situation.
Right.
Now, aside from makeup, what else do you do?
Literally, that's it. Other than the graphic and web design, which
Mm-hmm.
I do from mostly the comfort of my home. So I can make my own schedule regarding that as well. I got into that about, God, when was MySpace popular? Probably like 10,
2000.
10 to 12 years ago, maybe.
What was it, like 2007?
It was like 2006 to 7, maybe. So like, yeah, maybe like 10 to
Yeah.
12 years ago it was
Like middle
popular.
school.
And I learned how to code HTML code through basically making those profile layouts for people. I wanted to incorporate custom graphics within their layout, so I taught myself Photoshop. It was Photoshop CS2, I think that was out at the time. And I just taught myself everything. It was something that I always did. Like, instead of me painting in art class in high school, they would let me just sit on their laptop and design stuff all class period, instead of doing that, because no one else really knew how to do that kind of, or that level of designing. But yep, that was just something I've always been good at and finally decided to capitalize on over the last year or so, offering it to different companies, as well as branding and marketing strategies, from what I've learned myself through business.
Okay, sweet. That's pretty impressive, because a lot of people don't really. I mean, it depends, because coding, obviously there's many different types of coding. You got Python,
there's CSS,
C,
JavaScript, HTML. There's so many.
All that
Flash,
stuff.
God.
It depends on what you're doing, you know.
Right,
but a lot of
exactly.
people don't realize the value in HTML scripting, especially when we were in MySpace. We were actually dabbling in like a, possibly 6-figure salary job.
Exactly. And it was something that was so nonchalant to everybody. Like, just copy and paste the code to your profile.
Exactly.
On the different sections.
exactly. So, I mean, that's really impressive. That's good that you actually sat down and learned it yourself and applied yourself to actually learn a new skill.
Right.
And now it's paying off at the end of the day. You know?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, in regards to making websites, I'm not going to ask you how many, because I'm sure you've done more than you can count on one hand, but what is the general process like, as far as like getting a design from you for a website? So does somebody like contact you and say, hey, I want a design, or do you like refer them to your website for your rates or things like that?
Well, it just depends on the way that they approach me and ask. Like, if they ask me for just general advice on how they should go about like ordering something, or what steps that they should go about taking before even ordering, I'm there to answer that first. It's kind of like, we just consult about what you're looking for first, first and foremost your business, and second, the whole aesthetic of your website. Once that person is ready to, move on to the next step, you can go to my website. There's like an order form where it asks you pretty detailed questions, as far as what you're looking for, like, the content that you need for each page that you want, what the page names need to be. It's stuff that's very specific. I just personally like it that way because I'm kind of anal. But
I got you.
Yeah. So once that happens, I review everything, and it's usually it's anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the complexity of the website and what features the person needs and things of that nature. But I'm pretty back and forth with the client throughout the design process, making sure, everything is how they like it. I publish a live test site for them to always be able to check the progress of their website as it's being designed.
Oh, wow.
So I always look for my clients' input, and I always ask them if there's anything I need clarification on, or if there's something that I do that's like out of what they ask. I always ask them what they think of it, or scrap it, or keep it, just things of that nature. Keep the communication. Once everything's completed, you just transfer the site. The person can either leave me on as a contributor if they need maintenance done every so often, or they can just, I can teach them how to do it themselves.
Wow. That's impressive. Like I said,
it's a pretty lengthy process, but all entrepreneurs, I always recommend having a live website, regardless of whether you're selling products or services or anything of that nature. Even something like you do, I always recommend having a website.
Yeah, I'm actually I might hit you up on that, because I'm thinking about building a website for 75Junction. I just haven't gotten around to doing it.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And of course you can always capitalize on like the search engine optimization and stuff like that, where you can rank higher in Google when people are looking for things like that to watch.
Okay, well, we'll be discussing more about that after this.
Yes, cool.
But back to you. So you do makeup, and I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of the other makeup artists in the area. Had Christina up here a couple weeks ago.
Yes,
we saw
love
that.
her.
Yeah, no, she's great. But
she's great.
have you being a makeup artist, do you guys do tag team efforts on people's faces? 'Cause I'm assuming if you're doing someone's makeup, it's just kind of one-on-one, and you're doing that person's makeup, and that's that. It's no is there any collaboration, or do you guys get together and hey, we're doing a makeup event, and it'll be this much for a ticket or whatever?
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this area. Me personally, I'm not a catty nor competitive person when it comes to what I do. I think that there's enough business to go around. We can all eat in this area. So I really like to have people in my network like Christina, you know, like a couple of other artists that I know in this area, just in case I ever have a huge job or something that requires me to hire a second artist or, you know, just get some help in general. Just to cut down on time. Usually it's the big bridal parties I have to do that with. I had one that was like 16 people this year, so I had to split it in half with another artist, like 8 and 8, just to cut down on time. But yeah, as far as collaborating on a face, I think I've only done that once because I'm not very good at special effects makeup. I'm more of like a beauty glamour makeup kind of person. So the other body painting aspect needed to come from another artist. So I have personally collaborated with another artist on that. But yeah, I just love to keep people in my network, and I love to have people to refer my clients to if I'm not available, you know, other talented ladies in this area. So like I said, you know, everybody gets my business.
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Wow. So you're doing a lot of things. So do you ever find yourself feeling like you're kind of just spread thin or?
Yeah, all the time. And that's one of the hardest parts I think about being a business owner. On top of the fact that I did start my business when I was freshly 18, you know, all those years that everybody else got to go out and have their fun and have their fun time with their friends, go vacation, all that other stuff. I spent that time building my business. So it did take a lot of sacrificing, and it still does, you know, on the weekends when everybody else is off from work and they want to go out and have drinks and stuff. I'm stuck in the house because I have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning the next morning for a wedding. There's just a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, but it's, you know, I don't regret it. It's part of my job. I love it. So.
Okay, awesome. Do you follow famous makeup artists or anything like that?
Yeah, I follow a whole bunch on Instagram. That's probably most of what I follow on Instagram. Like, I try to keep my follower count lower than my following count lower than my follower count, for that reason. So I only follow people that I really like look up to, or people that I know personally back on that page. But yeah, I'm subscribed to a lot of famous ones on YouTube as well. I try to watch their classes. If they offer paid classes online or paid seminars that you can pay for videos and stuff, I try to do that as much as I can, just to keep up with my knowledge and techniques that other artists use that I could possibly incorporate into my own business.
Okay, I got you. And I like that you said that with the followers and the follower count and things like that, because there is a ratio that
it's important.
When people see your page, they want to see, you know, obviously it sounds shallow, but they want to see that you have more followers than you're following.
And that is what business has become in 2018 going into 2019.
Exactly.
That's just a huge part of building your business, your just business in general. And then, of course, interacting with your followers. Try to get that response on your posts and get more, you know, interaction in general.
Right. Yeah. Like, for example, like the podcast doesn't have thousands of followers. I literally just started the page.
Right.
But the followers I do have, I mean, close friends and stuff like that, I'm not following them back. It's not because I don't want to.
Right. It's just because you have a certain things that you exactly want to pop up on your feed.
So I'll follow people that have things that are pertinent to the business. But I'm not just going to follow somebody that's just posting about their weekend or their life.
Right, and we're just constantly posting selfies and pictures of their dog and things of that nature.
So I follow you on my personal page so I can see that. And then on my business page, that's completely separate.
Absolutely.
That's not in my feed. That has no place in my feed. So it's not that I don't want to follow you. It's just that it's not necessary.
Right, and I think that's also very important, is to separate your personal page and your business page as well. My Facebook, unfortunately, has kind of become a fusion of both, because I have like 5K friends on there. I keep hitting my limit, and I'm just like, I don't want to make a whole separate page, you know. So I just watch what I post on that page. My personal social media is probably my Twitter, so I keep that on lockdown.
I don't know. I could never get into Twitter.
I just like it for the humor. That's about it.
Yeah,
just watching the funny videos, and it's just a lot of people that go up there and like vent and stuff. So I just try to follow people up there that post funny stuff and retweet funny stuff.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, for me, just personally, I see Twitter as like a platform. People just go up there and they talk about, to me, things that may be superfluous or pointless. I'm like, why are you?
Or just those random thoughts that just pop up to yourself when you're just sitting here alone. And I feel like people just go up there and they just type those thoughts.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I don't think that Twitter is like the best for like businesses and promoting businesses, in my opinion. Just me personally.
And I was like, you can go viral off of Twitter. I've realized that you can take something and really make it go viral on Twitter.
Right.
But
absolutely.
That's about as far as you'll go.
Right.
Of course, the only thing that will happen is you'll get more Twitter followers. You know, it doesn't really impact you that much anywhere else.
Yeah, people have this weird way of equating followers to success. I'm like, that's not how it
Nope.
works.
No, it's not.
Because you got people that have hundreds of thousands of followers and they're still broke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me started on people that pay for followers. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Jeez. Wow. Okay, well, speaking of followers or following, do you have a specific makeup artist that's your favorite, or do you have like a top 3 if you can't pick one?
Gosh, this is hard. There is a makeup artist up in DC. Her name is Tiana Robinson. I really like her her artistry. It's very like soft, and you know, the makeup is just very skin-like. It's very realistic as opposed to the Instagram makeup that's kind of going around nowadays with all the cut crease and the glitter and 4 different shades of glitter and 3 different shades of eyeliner. So I just feel like any artist that just has that kind of aesthetic, like another one is Kill Pretty. Love his work as well. Again, soft, neutral tones, realistic skin, just things like that I look for in makeup artists, I guess mentors, you would say.
So there's different facets of makeup in the sense that you have, you know, the beauty makeup, and then you have like special effects makeup, and then you have like what are some of the different ones? Because I mean, me personally, I'm sure a lot of people don't understand what all goes into makeup and the different avenues that you can go with it. So can you kind of just explain a little bit of that? So
yeah, exactly like you just said, there are different aesthetics of makeup. You know, there's, like I just said, there's like the beauty makeup, which is more of what I do. I do the soft neutral tones. I just am about enhancing features that are already there, just making the best out of those, not changing too much unless that's what someone asked me to do. And then there is the Instagram makeup, which is more on the dramatic side. That's a lot of, you know, bold brow, and it just looks very done up. All this glitter, the cut crease, the wings that go like out to your eyebrow, like there's all of that, which is personally not my aesthetic. I think it's beautiful when another artist can pull that stuff off on their clients or on themselves for that matter, but it's just not me personally who I choose to work with. There is special effects makeup where you get to work with like fake blood and latex and all this stuff, and I know nothing about that. So I was actually thinking about hitting my friend Alicia up that does that kind of makeup and getting some training with her, so that way when Halloween comes back around next year, maybe I could be offering that service. But yeah, a lot goes into that. People can make themselves into literally anything using special effects makeup, and it's very mesmerizing to watch. And then the other kind of makeup I would say is more editorial makeup, which is like more focused around like just smooth, bare skin, you know, skin-like still, but that, you know, you can get abstract in the looks that you do with that. Like you can just draw purple blocks on top of your eyelids, and that would be considered editorial makeup. So that one's kind of hard to explain, but a lot of that goes in like runway makeup, fashion week, things of that nature. Those are the kind of events you'll find that editorial style makeup. Magazine covers like Vogue, all the models that are in those type of magazines, they all have that editorial look about them. So yeah, as makeup artists, I guess it's about just finding your niche and like sticking with that. You know, of course, if you're versatile and you can do all those styles of makeup, that's great. That's way better. I aspire to be that way someday, but you know, I feel like every makeup artist has their thing that they just prefer to do and that they're really good at.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, and I personally had no idea how much went into makeup. It's very expensive too.
Oh, it is very expensive.
Very expensive.
Well, if you're using what you're supposed to be using, yes, in order to give your clients the best results. That's one of the biggest things also about business is investing into your business to get, you know, a better outcome. Even if that means you take a little bit of a loss in the meantime, it's usually worth it.
Now, I've seen that you're really good about this, but I've seen other people that do probably their own makeup, I'm assuming, but they do their makeup and then the color of their face is different from like their neck. So how do you tackle that? Do you do makeup to the neck as well, or do you kind of just try to get the colors to match?
Well, the mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to matching like their skin base makeup basically is they try to match it directly to the color of their face, which is usually different from the color of your neck. So, you know, obviously if your face is lighter than your neck and you go to put foundation on that matches your actual face, you're going to look like a light bulb. But I always tell my clients, I'm like, when you're in the store and you match your foundation, you should always test it to this area right here where your jaw meets your neck. because that will give you the most true tone of, you know, making you look cohesive from here up at least. There are some rare occasions where I have a client that has like a darker neck than their face or the rest of their chest area, so that's something that you also want to keep in mind. There is that circumstance, so in that case, yes, you would just blend it down the neck and try to even everything out between the face and the chest as much as possible. But yeah, I think that's the single most important part of being a makeup artist, is being able to match someone's shade and carrying the shades to be able to match all of your potential clientele.
Right. So you have to have a wide color palette as far as what you're working. You'll be working with white people, black people, very tan people.
And I myself have a very extensive portfolio. You know, some makeup artists that I know only work with like one demographic or the other, you know, and sometimes that's just due to where they're located. They don't have very much of one ethnicity in one area or vice versa. But yep, I think it's very important as a makeup artist that you are equipped to deal with any situation that's thrown at you, any skin tone that's thrown at you, any skin type that's thrown at you.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any favorite type of event that you do? Like, do you prefer weddings? Do you prefer like just personal one-on-one, or how does that?
I personally prefer weddings. Little secret about myself, I've never actually been to a wedding outside of the ones that I've worked. Like, really? Never in my life been to a wedding. No. That I can remember. I don't know if my parents maybe took me when I was like a baby or something. I just don't remember. But to my knowledge, no, I've never been to a wedding. So there's just something special to me about being a part of someone's big day that way. And of course, being solely in charge of their looks and their beauty for the day and how they're presented walking down the aisle and how that's going to hold up all day. In the photos, they'll look back at years from now and show their grandkids. My work will be reflected in that. So there's just something special about that to me. On top of that, I have a lot of really fun bridal parties, like really, really fun. So I enjoy getting to know all my brides and their bridal parties. It's just more personable to me, I guess, than the single appointment slots where I'll see you like once every year and a half or so when you know, have something come up that you need makeup done for. Right. The brides, you know, it's a kind of like an outstanding relationship from the moment they book you to the moment their wedding comes up, which is usually a year or so in advance. If they, you know, do it the better way to do it. So we'll be corresponding for that year and some change, and we get to know each other throughout our little meetings and appointments and stuff like that before the wedding. It's just what I prefer. I don't know. Bridal is just my thing. I've contemplated on switching the branding of my business over to mainly bridal related, but I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. I don't think it's right for me to do that yet, but eventually that's in my plans. Okay, nice.
And obviously monetarily, I'm assuming it's better, and you can cut out a lot of the fluff as far as like having to deal with individual appointments. I don't know what all goes into it, but I'm sure there's hiccups.
Right. It's usually tardiness when it comes to individual appointments. Tardiness that throws off the full schedule for the day. You know, you don't really have much leeway in between appointments. So one person being 15 minutes late will like throw off your entire day. You don't really have to deal with that too much with bridal parties. Very occasionally will you get like the rogue bridal party member that like goes off to McDonald's or something in the middle of when everybody's trying to get ready, and then it's time for them to come get their slot and they're nowhere to be found. That very rarely happens. So most of my bridal parties, I send them a proposal months in advance of what time everybody needs to be in what slot, like what time everybody's getting their makeup done. So they usually stick to that pretty well.
I got you. Yeah, and when I spoke to Christina, you know, we were talking about, you know, doing makeup for big events like this and how important it is to the people, because with women, you all are very sentimental, very passionate about, you know, things like weddings and things like that. Right. So it's important they look their best, and then you're helping them do that. So you're basically bettering their life. You're making them happy. You're making their day that much more special. Right. So I could see where the pride and the want to do that more often comes from.
Right. And there's no better feeling than seeing that groom just burst out into tears when he sees how beautiful his bride-to-be looks.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Sweet. So in regards to doing makeup with, you know, bridal parties and things like that, have you ever thought of kind of, I don't want to say branching out, but like is nails included in that? Like,
you mean nails? Like in like a kind of like a package form, basically, like offer like, your brides like an all-inclusive like skincare, nails, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, because I know I predominantly see you do makeup on the
Yeah.
face, but I don't know if you really dabble in nails or anything like
I'm
that.
strictly a makeup person personally. I don't do hair. I don't really step outside of my niche in that. But I've always thought about implementing a package like that. That way the bride doesn't have to worry about finding 1,000 different people all over the area that she's getting married just to take care of her before or on the wedding day. So I have thought about stuff like that. Like me and my partner in the studio, Jen, she's an esthetician. She does facial, skincare, waxing, all that good stuff. Me and her actually spoke about adding her services to my bridal packages for the brides that want, facials and stuff leading up to the wedding. And of course that benefits me because their skin is in tip-top condition after that. Your skin plays a big part in how the makeup looks and wears on you as well. So the better your skin looks, the better or easier it is going to be for me to apply makeup on you. So I've thought about that, but don't know how to implement that yet. I kind of do want to, I guess, expand and make myself into a team and kind of like a beauty concierge kind of service. But like I said, that's going to be probably in the years to come.
Right, absolutely. And, you've been doing it for 4 years, but it's still starting out. I mean, for like 5 years is kind of the feel out process and seeing where things go and where you want to take the business, right? Okay, awesome. Now I see you moving on Facebook. I see you be popping up there. So,
Lord.
How is your schedule looking like? I mean, obviously, you found a little bit of time to get out here, and I do appreciate that. But is your schedule like always hectic? Because it seems like you're always booked.
It's mainly on the weekends, I would say, the Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Monday through Thursdays, people aren't really doing too much, except for today, like I said, the weird military holiday parties that are on a Thursday for whatever reason this year.
Right.
But that's kind of rare for me. So Monday through Thursday, those are my more chill days, and I'll just sit at home and do my graphic and web design up until a reasonable point, relax, cook dinner, things like that. The week is really my downtime where I can just chill out. I can work at my leisure because, like I said, I do the graphic and web design from home. Yep, and then the weekends are the ones that are pretty booked, and then I'll service sometimes, anywhere from 12 to 14 clients in one day on the weekend during the busy season. So yeah, that's where most of my time goes. I do have to sacrifice my weekends and having fun and stuff just because those are my predominant days of business.
Okay, gotcha. Do you still play games?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, yeah, I was playing zombies before I came here.
Really?
Black Ops 4, yeah. You still a PS4 fan?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Well, I got a Switch recently too.
Gotcha.
Smash Bros came out.
You see, I want one of those. We talked about adding that to our household next.
I would recommend it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fun game, and it's a good couch party game.
Yes, absolutely.
You can have like 8 people on the system at one time.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm sure it's hectic. I haven't done it yet, but
that is cool. But I can only imagine from how we used to play when we were kids when it was on the GameCube. Whew.
Yeah, no, it got intense, and it's even crazier now. It's like 65 characters or something like that, and then there's like a plethora of maps, like every single map there's ever been, and they have like a few new ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to play anything on the Switch yet, except for in actual GameStop. I was just testing it out, but yeah, definitely want to add that, and yeah, definitely will always play games. I'm always going to be a Call of Duty fan.
This was very important to the interview because it just shows your versatility as an individual. Because you play games,
I'm a gamer
you do
girl.
Makeup, you do web design. That's pretty unique.
Yeah, I try. But yeah, I was always a little tomboy growing up, so it's kind of ironic that I grew up and became a makeup artist. I was going to join the Air Force like you, straight out of high school. But I just decided, since I graduated a year early, to just take that year off. And I'm just like, I don't need to jump straight into a university right now. I wanted to go in as an officer, which of course would require me to go to university first, do that 4 years of officer training school and all that kind of stuff at the same time. So just decided to wait. And I'm actually glad that I did because it paid off and I started my business.
Absolutely. So I'm assuming now you no longer have those plans.
I think about it sometimes, but it's only those overwhelming moments where I feel like I need a break. And I'm just going to be like, screw this. I'm just going to join the Air Force.
I got you. And that's only natural. That's human, because you get, overwhelmed. You have a lot of things that come up and then you're like, you know what? Do I ever really want to still do this?
Yep, but that's I've just learned that's always a struggle that you're gonna go through as a business owner. Like I feel like every single business owner I know is like that, or you'll see them random vent on Facebook one day, screw this, I'm done. Like,
yep.
I'm guilty of that. I think a few times.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Okay, sweet. So social media, you're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, correct? mainly Facebook and Instagram for your makeup.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, is that the same for your graphic design? Do you have your own page for that, or is
Yep,
that
I have a whole separate third business page on Facebook for my Belladonna designs, and then I have a separate Instagram for that one as well, which I really need to get more exposure on. So that's why I've been posting a lot lately as far as the projects that I've been working on.
Okay. Now, do you have any major projects coming up?
Well, I just met with a client the other day. She basically is a all-around counselor. Like, she does image coaching. She helps out children that have behavioral issues. She just opened up a nice spot in Hampton. I won't reveal too much about what she's doing, but I just met with her yesterday actually to talk about working on her logo, and basically the logo that we designed would be the whole design basis for the place that she is opening while she's still in the early phases of trying to find out the decor. She needs a website as well, so she needs that up. Has a deadline by the end of next month, so hopefully you guys will be seeing more of her projects coming up when I know what I can talk about regarding her business.
Right, absolutely, because you don't want to...
Yeah, I don't want to reveal too much, but yeah, she's a great lady.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll wrap it up with this. One, I'm proud of you. You've done.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yourself.
It means so much coming from Sherman.
Jeez. Anyway, I'm proud of you. You're doing great things. Please continue to do good things, and
Absolutely.
You're doing great. So definitely keep that in mind. For those who don't know her, this is again Alana, and she does makeup. She does graphic design. Follow her Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That will be in the video as well. And I think that's good. Do you have anything else that you want to add?
Not really. Just that if you are, a young person and you have a talent, you have a skill, you have a knack for people, you're good at micromanaging people, really you can turn anything into a profit. And that's the biggest thing that I try to convey in everything that I do. No matter what age you are, it's okay to be unsure about what you want to do with your life. That will come eventually. It might not come in the way that you think it's going to, but it will eventually manifest itself. And I just think that anyone's capable of doing this kind of thing. So if you do have that in mind, just don't give up.
Absolutely. Shout out to the youth. All right, Alana, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.